So I thought I would show you my exact setup of how I stitch. And again, this is personal. Everyone will have their own way, but I've been asked in the past to show it, so I thought I would. So this actually is my sewing table, my sewing machine table. Make quilts, could machine quilt on it, but I'm using it for stitching now. My stitching room, I may have shown this before, has big windows. But when I stitch, I sit here so the light from the window's coming. And I do put a pillow on this chair because that chair's kind of hard after a while sitting on it, so I do have a pillow there. You can see I have my thread hanging there, thread ring. I do like to use the Potoky stand, and I have it flipped backwards because, let me see, sometimes I will put, oh, rats, dropped it. All right, you can just look out the window while I reach down and get this. All right, sometimes I do like to put the thread like that. So I have it backwards, but here, let me put this back so you can see exactly. Usually keep the chart on one of these magnetic stands that fold flat. So I make a working copy to keep notes on. There's the other parts of the chart. This one is pretty heavily stitched, so I do highlight what I've finished. So as I sit and stitch, this is what I have, and you can see I have a light. This is an old aught lamp that was my mother's. And it's still going strong. She's been gone 15 years. I bought it a long time before that. So anyway, that shines right on my work. So I have my chart, my stitching. I do like to use those magnetic clips. And that's a 7 or 8 inch hoop. I like the vintage hoops, so that's what that is. And then here's my little workstation with, this I got at Hobby House. It's got scissors, and these are the ones I use all the time. These curved Ginghers. My unstitcher. That's where I put my orts. I've got needle threaders there. So when I stitch, I've got the light of the window, and I also have my TV. But this particular table, when I sit, is a heavy-duty table. I actually pull this drawer out. Let's see if I can do this. I'm sorry it's shaky. About like that. All right, I pull the drawer out. So it's actually resting on the drawer, which gets it a little closer to me. I can do it on the table, but I really like this setup. And then if I need to get to the back of the work, I can just flip it over and then flip it back. So most of my things have been stitched just like this setup. And then when I'm done for the day, I just put the stand, or if I need to get up and move around, put the stand up, close up my drawer, and there you go. So let me show you the Millennium Frames setup that I have. Be right back. I did want to show you how I use the halo light. So if I have some 1/1 or something really tiny, I don't use that drawer. I have the stand sitting on the table. Here's my magnifier And you can see I even can use the tiny one up there. So that's just if I have something really tiny I need to see. I use that setup with this lamp still shining. All right, let me show you the Millennium setup next. I'll put this in position in a minute, but I did want to show you the setup. I just have purchased this, the Millennium frame, along with the floor stand. These are beautifully made and very lightweight, but they were a little heavier than I wanted to try to hold, and I like to stitch two-handed with my right hand, my predominant hand, underneath, and my left hand on top. So I did try holding it. It was too awkward, and I'll show you the floor stand in just a minute, but let me show you the table stand. Let me just walk over here. Here's the table stand, which I can put on my table. You can see it's got adjustable. Well, it's fully adjustable, so you can make it narrower or wider. It's also adjustable here, so you can raise or lower these. And let me just look away if you get seasick. Let me just come over here and grab this. Let me just put it on the frame. And I'll back up so you can see it. So you can see it fits on there very nicely. And I can still put one hand underneath, one hand on top. I can, since my chair is adjustable, I can raise or lower as needed. This would also fold, come apart, so you can travel with it if you want. So that is the Artisto lap stand. Now let me show you, come back over here. So I decided to get the floor stand. You can see it's got a nice base. It's fairly lightweight, but it's very sturdy. I was concerned it'd take up too much space, but it really does not. You can raise or lower it with that knob. These knobs here adjust these arms to swing them in or out. You also have this knob, which is fully tiltable. I'm very impressed on how adjustable this is. You can put your chart here, and I've actually rested my iPad right there. So it works very well, beautifully made. Now I'm going to bring you get a full glimpse at all my stuff here. I'm going to bring this back and put it on the stand. So there we have it. Again, I can put one hand under, one on top. Let's say I'm stitching here and this arm is in a way. I love this. You just move it over. Just move it over and now you can work right there. I love that. Like I said, I've been very impressed with how adjustable it is. Now I'm going to put it over by my table because this isn't where it lives. It lives over by the other table. But I did want to show it to you. Let me move it. Here's the setup. When I want to stitch on my Millennium frame, it actually lives right there at the end of my table. You can see it fits in there. It doesn't take up too much space. I can just put my items I need right over here. I'm still using my lamp. And my chair, I just simply rotate. So let me, I'll see if I can do that one-handed. So I'll just rotate. Come to the side here. So see, there's my DMC I was talking about last video. And so here it is. I just sit here Still using my light, but then I also have the light from the window. And when I'm done stitching, I will loosen those. And then I've got this towel, tea towel that I bought. Of course, too pretty to use or too fun because our last name's Combs, so I do tend to buy bee things. So I just covered up so that since it's by the window, since it's so close, I covered up so that the light doesn't hit it. So let me take that off and show you one more time the setup. And as I said, this is totally personal to what I have, because this table, it's a koala table from years ago. It has my sewing machine in it, which raises right up to where my silk is. So for many years, that was always there, stitching on it. Well, now I can use the same table, and if I need to use my machine, I just raise it up. But I thought you would like to see the setup. And that Millennium Frame is new, but I am very happy with how it fits there. And if I need to push it back a little bit, I can. There's still room. Or if I need to move it to another room, I don't know how much it weighs, but I can lift it with one hand and walk around with it. But just so well made. So that's my setup. I know many of you have different setups, but I've been asked in the past what my setup is, and that's it. And if I can get my husband to hold the camera, I will actually film stitching on my Potoky stand. We're going to give this a go. I have to take some of this out because there's a mistake, so I'm just going to stitch over here. But I thought I would show you how I stitch two-handed. So I'm going to do this. So I have my, let's see, I'm right-handed. I have my right hand underneath. So I'm going to take my next stitch, and I actually put the eye of the needle. Where's the camera? Here it is. See the eye of the needle? I'm not stitching with the point. I'm pushing the eye up. So now I'm looking at it, putting it where I need to go. Okay, now I'm gonna use my left hand to bring it up. I'm gonna put it down in the space it needs to go with my left hand. So if you're left-handed, you'll have your left hand underneath. Put your predominant hand on top. Now, pulling it while I can watch it on the top, see what's happening. Now, why am I putting it eye first? So it doesn't twist. Okay, let me come back. Sorry if that's making you dizzy, but I do want you to see both, and I can't think of a way to do it. Let me just do a couple real time. So the point of the needle is actually down in my hand. It doesn't twist. The thread doesn't twist then. I'm using 28 count petites, and I am stitching 1/1 on 28 count lugana. Now I'll flip over to the top so you can see it. Let's see if I can let me move some of the things out of the way. I have to also be able to get my hand in here. I want to get as close as possible so you can see. Now you can see better than I can see right now, because I have it tilted. I think I just, hold on. I think I just put that, put that in the wrong spot, because I couldn't see. All right, let me do it so you can see, and then I'll do it real time. Maybe gotta tilt it so I can see where I'm going. Right, now I'm going to stitch real time, and then I'll get closer so you can see how I'm stitching 1/1. Of course, I'm just doing a straight line, so it's very fast. But if I'm doing the eye, let me tilt it. Here's the eye of the needle. So now I'm kind of twisting it. Now when I bring it up, it just seems to be more motion. I don't know. I just find doing needle eye up very fast. All right, now I'm going to try to get really close. I'm going to get the camera. I can't zoom, so I'm having to move my swing arm, and I'm hoping it does not come loose. All right. I'm sorry, it's taking some time, but I really want you to be able to see. Where's the camera? Camera's right there. Of course, I have to be able to see too, so I'm going to... Okay, now, when I cross... Hold on, I'm going to see if I can get closer. So I cross this way first. So top left to bottom right, and then go top right to bottom left, which is basically backwards to what everyone else does. Okay, let me pull it. Now I'm going to come down here. So I just went in here. The one reason I like lugana, I don't know, it's just easier to do 1/1. There's the top. I'm using the eye of the needle. And then I'm doing bottom to top. And I'm going to do bottom to top again. I know, come up in a clean hole, meaning where there isn't a stitch. Go down in a dirty hole, which would look like this. I'm going to try to get the angle right so you can really see it. But then I have to be able to see. Well, that might be the best I can do. Let me see. I don't think, no, I can't zoom. I'm going to do it kind of crooked here. I don't know if that's any better. Now, let me see if I can flip the camera. If I can't, I'm just going to sign off now. If I can, I will be right back and we'll try it again. I'm going to give this a go. Here you can see some of the stitching. Now I'm going to go to where I was. Like I said, you can see a little better than I can. Now, if I want to come up in a clean hole, I would come up right there. So that's 1 over 1 on Lugana. If I was doing the tent stitch, I would be doing the second leg. Sometimes the thread, not on Lugana, but on linen, will go underneath. So you could come up here. I would probably come up here. Because if you come up here, it could slip right underneath. But Lugana, it doesn't do that. You're not pulling tight. Just kind of letting the thread float. So anyway, I hope that helped to see two-handed, and then just to see stitching over one. Now if I want to come back, of course now I'm doing it opposite how my other stitches were, so none of this is staying. See, there's the eye of my needle. And I'll give it a try and see what you think. So hopefully you could see that a little clearer. That's it. So you got to see sewing room setup, got to see two-handed, and got to see the stitching over one. And let's pull this back. So there's that variegated thread. And this is the one down here. Oh, I have to take it out. Something's wrong and it's too close. And so I haven't figured out what. So I'm working on taking that little bit out. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed that. That's my favorite motif right there. Hope you enjoyed that. Be back for another FlossTube in a few weeks. Bye, everybody.